Hi guys, this is a 2014 Mac Mini that I picked up from the local equivalent of Craigslist. It was advertised as working, but after using it for a few hours, I noticed that it was getting really hot and that I couldn't hear the fan. So I opened it up to take a look. I found that the fan connector had been ripped from the board, probably while the previous owner was upgrading the hard drive to an SSD. And there have been 4 wires soldered in the place where the fan connector would have been. So I decided to try and replace the fan connector myself. Although I fixed dozens of Macs over the years, I've never done board level repair before. My soldering experience is limited to replacing the occasional power button and installing mod chips in PlayStation 1s about 25 years ago, when components were an awful lot bigger. I know almost nothing about board level repair apart from what I picked up from watching a bunch of Louis Rossmann videos. So this isn't a tutorial and I'm probably going to be doing a lot of things wrong. That said, there might still be something useful here if you're going to be attempting the same repair yourself. Since I decided to give it a go, there were a few things that I needed to buy. First, I bought a cheap microscope on Amazon as there's no way I'd be able to see what I was doing without one. Also, I needed a soldering iron, desoldering braid, a flux pen, and of course I needed the replacement fan connector. I was able to get the exact one from RS Components. It's a Molex Pico EasyMate 78171, and they were very cheap at about 30 pence each, although I had to buy a minimum of 10, but at least that meant I had some spares. I'll leave a link to the connector down in the video description. Before anything else, I had to remove the wires that had been soldered to the pads by the previous owner. I applied some flux to the area around the contacts and then used some braid to try and soak up as much of the solder as I could. This was the first time I'd ever used braid, and I think I probably didn't apply the heat for long enough, so not much of the solder was removed. After a couple of minutes, I switched to using the soldering iron directly and tried to melt the remaining solder while gently pulling on the wires to detach them from the board. I was careful to tug only very gently so as not to rip the pads from the board. After the wires came off, I used the braid again to clean any remaining solder from the pads. Once the solder was gone, I cleaned the entire area with a Q-tip soaked in isopropyl alcohol to give me a nice clean surface to work on, and I was quite happy with the result. Now it was time to position the new connector. This was very difficult due to the size, and it took a lot of moving it around to try and get it into the right position. But finally I did get it positioned perfectly. Then I went to add some more flux from my flux pen, and of course the connector moved again. My plan was to solder one pin, the one on the right, first, which would hold the connector in place while I soldered the other pins. However, with the solder in my left hand and the iron in my right, I had no way to hold the connector still while I soldered the pin, so it moved again. This left me with a tinned pad that wasn't actually attached to the pin. So it was back to moving the connector about again with tweezers to try and position the pin over the tinned pad. Eventually, I got it into the right position. Now, since there was solder already on the pad, I had my left hand free to hold the connector while soldering with my right. Touching the soldering iron to the pad, the solder melted and I finally had one pin done. This would at least hold the connector in place while I soldered the other pins. The second pin was very easy. However, when trying to solder the third and fourth pins, I didn't notice a big blob of solder on the end of the iron and ended up bridging them. So it was back to the braid again to try and soak up some of the excess solder. After adding a bit more flux, I eventually got rid of the excess and then touched each pin again with the iron. And finally had a joint that I was satisfied with. I then had to add a little bit of solder to the pads on the other side. They don't have any electrical connection to the board, but they're important in making sure that the connector is held securely. With the connector now replaced, it was just a case of giving the whole area a good clean with IPA to get rid of all of the flux residue. Now it was time to test whether it had worked. I plugged in the fan to the newly replaced connector, reattached all of the cables and pressed the power button. And success, the fan was spinning. The problem that I have now is it didn't stop spinning. The fan now spins at full speed all of the time. On the 2010 and 2012 Mac Mini, this was usually due to a missing or damaged thermal sensor on the hard drive, but there's no hard drive thermal sensor on the 2014 Mac Mini. I tried the usual SMC reset, but it made no difference. From looking at various forums, this seems to be a very common issue after replacing the fan connector. I've read that you can solder a 2 kilo ohm resistor between the middle two pins in order to reduce the fan speed by half, which is at least less noisy. In hindsight, there are a few things that I would have done differently. First, instead of the flux pen, I would have gone for a liquid flux in a dispenser bottle. The flux pen requires touching the board, so you inevitably end up moving components around. Second, after positioning the connector, I would have taped it into place using a little piece of Kapton tape to stop it moving around while I soldered the pins. Overall then, even though it wasn't 100% successful, I'm still glad that I attempted this repair. It does mean that a previously unusable Mac is now at least usable without overheating, even though it's very noisy. I hope this video was helpful if you're trying the same repair. Thanks for watching.